Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to start a new mini series on my channel, reading all of the short books on my TBR. So let me give you a little backstory. So I finished reading a few book club books earlier this month, and one of them was very, very chunky. The one for my very own book club, The Ferryman by Justin Cronin, which if you're part of my Patreon, you will hear my thoughts on that book very, very soon. But let me just say, I enjoyed it. After that book, I had about 3 more books on my planned TBR that I was hoping to read. I didn't want to read any of those. I was looking at my shelf and I was having a hard time deciding what I wanted to read. And I realized it's because I was feeling overwhelmed about the amount of books that I had on my TBR. So my plan is twofold. Number one, to get rid of the books that I am no longer excited about. I ended up unhauling 101 books, physical books, off my TBR. I'm going to be taking them to the book exchange and listing them on Pango. And then I kind of grouped my different books by genre. I have like a couple of themes going, and one of them is all of the short books on my TBR. At least I think these are all of them, but these are the short books that I'm going to be reading in the next series of vlogs that you will see from me. I do not know which books I'm going to read in which vlog because I'm very much a mood reader and I want to just be able to read what I'm in the mood for, but I am genuinely interested and genuinely excited for every single one of these books. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to every single book in this stack, and then we will start the actual vlog for the first set of books. Okay, so the first one I literally just bought today, and when I went to Barnes & Noble, I told myself, you are not allowed to walk out of this bookstore unless you buy a book and it is the next book you read. So this is the book I bought. This will be the book in this vlog that I am definitely reading. So it's called Last Night at the Lobster. It is a national bestseller. It is by Stuart Onan, author of Snow Angels. And it says a Washington Post, San Francisco Chronicle, and Entertainment Weekly Best Book of the Year, nominated for the Los Angeles Times Book Prize. Perched in the far corner of a rundown New England mall, the Red Lobster hasn't been making its numbers, and headquarters has pulled the plug. But manager Manny DeLeon still needs to navigate a tricky last shift, just 4 days before Christmas, and in the midst of a fierce blizzard with a near mutinous staff and the final onslaught of hungry retirees, lunatics, and holiday office parties. All the while, he's wondering how to handle the waitress he's still in love with, his pregnant girlfriend, and where to find the present that will make everything better. This is very, very short. It's like as big as my hand, and it is 146 pages. So I'm hoping to actually read and finish this afternoon. Next up, like I said, I don't know which books will be in which vlog, but I just want to introduce you to all of the books. Okay, next up, I have a book that was recommended to me by Caroline. It's What Belongs to You, a novel by Garth Greenwell. And it's honestly been a while since she pitched it to me, but we talked about it in a short books episode that I did with her on my podcast. And it is also the winner of the British Book Award for Best Debut of the Year, finalist for another award, all that kind of stuff. So these short books are where it's at, y'all. Next up, I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is translated from Japanese. Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I'm not really sure how to say the author's name on this one, but I've heard that it's really, really emotional, and I'm very excited about it because, again, it's short, and I believe I finally picked it up after hearing Elizabeth from Ponytails and Paperbacks talk about it, and she posted about it on her Instagram. Like, it absolutely wrecked her. I've heard this recommended by like several people, but I've just never picked it up. Now I have it, so now I need to read it. Next up is Love and Saffron, a novel of friendship, food, and love by Kim Fay. Then I have 6 stories, which this is kind of like podcast related from what I remember. I have had this on my wish list for as long as I've been on BookTube, I feel like. Let's see when it released. 2016. So I've probably had this on my wish list since 2016. I'll tell you about it when I read it. I also picked up this cozy mystery. This is also, I believe, a Japanese, yes, this is an award-winning classic mystery introducing Japan's most famous detective. So I feel like this is like the Agatha Christie of Japan. Then I randomly saw this one at Barnes & Noble one day, The Cat Who Saved Books. This is also a translated book by a Japanese author. Maybe I should like pull those out and read those kind of separately. Yeah, maybe I will read those in a separate vlog. I'll make that like its own little segment. Okay. Now there are varying degrees of length, but this one is a little bit longer. I think they're all under 300. But they're all about like 200, 250, something like that. But, and Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, a classic I have not read, but I really, really need to, because I feel like I have read at least 10 retellings, adaptations, whatever. So I need to get on this. Okay, next is When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. I also saw Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. This was after Ashley from Ashley's Little Library and Elizabeth from Reading Riley read it. I know Gabby from Gabby Reads has read it. I picked up a copy of Geneva Rose's The Girl I Was at the book exchange for like $8 store credit. Then I picked up The Stillwater Girls by Mika Kent, which is an author that Jessie has not had success with yet, but I got this one at AFK Books and Records for like $8, and so it looked creepy. I love the cover, so I hope the inside fits the vibe. Another Japanese one that I can put in that one. So this is Penance, and this is the same author that wrote, oh my gosh, Confessions. She wrote Confessions. And the last short book that is on my TBR is The Good Lie by A.R. Torrey, which I love. A.R. Torrey, I really like The Girl in 6E and the second, third books in that series, but I haven't had success outside of that yet. I'm hoping this will be a winner. Those are the books on my short books TBR. Let's go peek at my TBR shelf together and make sure there's no more short books. Oh, I already see one. Open Water. This one. This is short, and I've been wanting to read this forever, so we're gonna add that to the TBR. These are fairly short, but I kind of want to do like a separate Sarah Adams thing because I also have this one. Let's see. These are my thrillers. Now, I'm not counting these, but those are short, yes. But I might do like a horror. And then these are my general fiction. So I think this is the only one that I need to add to the list. Okay, you just saw me find this one on my TBR. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and there is also like another book by this author that kind of has like a similar cover, so I'm interested what that one is about, but for now I need to read this one. I'm excited now to decide what I'm gonna read in this vlog. Okay, so I think I am gonna save these for like a separate episode. I could read all 4 of these Japanese books in a vlog, so that sounds super fun. Maybe this one, I don't know. I will just have to see what I'm in the mood for, and I'll let you know as I get going. But for starters, Last Night at the Lobster. Let's go.
Do we get this low, this low?
Hello, my beautiful friends. Last night I finished Last Night at the Lobster by Stuart Onan, and I really enjoyed this book. I don't think I can recommend it widely, but for a very specific audience, it can really work. So it's basically about this manager of a Red Lobster that's closing down, and the last night of it like being open. It's not open, or it's not well known amongst like the community and the general population. Basically only the employees of the restaurant know that it's the last night, but it's around Christmas time, just 4 days before Christmas, and in the midst of a fierce blizzard. They're closing down, and there's not a lot of traffic because of the blizzard, and they were expecting more because of it being like near the holidays, and it's actually situated near the mall and stuff like that. But you have this team of people that work at the Red Lobster, and yeah, it's difficult to get to work because of the snow. You get to see the people that come and eat there, the people that don't. You get to see the employees and how they handle things and stuff like that. And it is just so meticulously, perfectly pitched restaurant. Like, if you like that show The Bear on Hulu, I think you might like this too. There's no major plot. There's no like aha moment. There's no like, you know, peaks and valleys. It's all like one note. It's a slice of life. It is the last night at the Red Lobster. And it's just so, like, I know these people. I feel like every restaurant has like a manager and line cooks and waitresses and all of the things that this book had. I loved the length of it. If it would have went longer, if it would have went like, if I would have got the before, I don't think I would have liked it as much. But just seeing this glimpse, this little slice of life was perfect, and I absolutely loved it. So if you want to know what it's like working in the restaurant industry from the perspective of the manager, then definitely check this out. If you like shows like The Bear, if you've worked in a restaurant yourself, definitely check this out. I ended up rating this 5 stars. I was teetering on 4 and 5 stars because it didn't really have that big of a plot. I don't typically like slice of life stories, but this one was so perfect. The author accomplished exactly what they set out to do, and I just love it so much. I love it so much that I immediately started season 2 of The Bear and watched 5 episodes. So I really liked this one. All right, next up, I am going to pick up What Belongs to You by Garth Greenwell. Never read anything by this author before. This is an LGBT, gay, male romance-ish book. It's about this American teacher that is in Germany or somewhere like that, I believe. And yeah, foreign country where he finds himself, and he goes to this, I guess it's like a club or a restaurant or something, National Palace of Culture, and he pays this hustler for sex, and then he returns to him again and again. today is my mother-in-law's 90th birthday. We got our balloons and everything. I'll show you in just a minute. We're going over there for like dinner and cake and ice cream and all of that tonight. So yeah, I can't go to the beach right now, but hopefully I can go tomorrow. But to wrap up What Belongs to You by Garth Greenwell, I thought it was okay. It kind of doesn't have a major point either. It's kind of like a slice of life story about this American man, unnamed narrator, teaching in Bulgaria, and he has a on again, off again transaction with almost like this prostitute, and it's just about that. There's not that much going on. There's a lot to do with like language and stuff like that. He captures like the human experience and emotions really well, but I just needed like more from the story, kind of like a moral to the story is, and it was just kind of like sad at the end. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't really feel the consequences of his actions. I did feel the like want, the need, the desire, but it's like, I don't know, very quickly he became indifferent to the whole thing, and it made me feel indifferent to the whole thing. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I am just one reader, one reviewer from one lens. So if you want to check it out, check out reviews on Goodreads or the Storygraph and make your own decision. But I am not going to be recommending this one, but I'm glad I read it. I think I'm going to give it 2 stars because I thought it was okay. I think this was maybe like too literary for my personal reading tastes. So we're gonna go ahead and say, call it a win, and that it's off my TBR, and move on to the next book, which I haven't chosen yet, but I'll let you know when I do. I am DNFing the story on chapter 4, page 12, because I don't like the writing. I thought it was supposed to be like a tragic love story, which I was here for. However, it is told in second person POV, and it's stream of consciousness, like you did this and then you did this and then you did this. And I'm like, I'm not gonna feel attached to the characters if this is how the writing is throughout. It's unfortunate because I've heard nothing but good things. But this is going in the unhaul pile, which means that wraps up the first mini episode in this series. Don't forget, I plan to read all of the short books in separate vlogs, so make sure you check out those. I will post them as I make them in the description box of this video, so you can keep up with all of them. I'm thinking it's going to be like a 4-part series, possibly 4 or 5-part series. So let me know if you like this idea down in the comment section down below. Go ahead and leave a orange heart emoji in the comment section if you made it this far and you can't think of anything else to comment. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.